Alright, cool. We're live. If you share Notion, try to zoom in. It was a little small last time.
Yeah. Well, share my screen. Yeah, Notion is not public yet, but we're gonna make it public for the next call for sure. Right. Should be able to see the agenda right now. Can you see it? So just
Yeah, maybe zoom in 1 or 2 times more. That's good. Great.
Well, let's start. So, to give some general updates on the protocol development, right now we are finalizing the September release. As a general overview, we are aiming to make a release for the protocol every month that includes different new features in the protocol and different improvements. You can check those just by going to the milestone we have in our repository. I just share this in chat so everyone who wants can have an overview of it. But yeah, we're basically still working on several few things remaining for the September release. The main thing is supporting authenticated calls on connected chains. You can find the issue if you go to milestone, but basically this enables calling smart contracts, universal smart contracts on a connected chain and being able to identify with the caller to that chain. This is in progress. We will go through it during the call, just general updates. And yeah, the main features that we'll bring in this September release will be the ability to stake Zeta through smart contracts, so you'll be able to build application that's directly with smart contract stake Zeta.
We're making progress on October.
This includes the TON network integration and the idea of universal staking. I discussed it here, but basically this enables Zeta staker to earn rewards in zero-sum. Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Team updates, Panro will be out this entire week, and it will be working moving forward on doing some research for the idea of account abstraction. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Ton integration is in progress right now. Is there any updates you want to give me from that?
Yeah, sure. So right now we're working on transaction parsing logic. So I created a wrapper around our gateway in the link. Right now I'm working on parsing binary TLB data from tone into our cross-chain structures. I'll wrap this part today, and next I need to implement bound watcher and also proceed to end-to-end test suite for deposit and call and donation. Yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. Yeah, we have a team internal demo next Thursday. Would be great if we can demo something. Do you think like we could aim to make a demo of the deposit on local network?
Yeah, I'll try my best. I'll probably be on the go Thursday because I have a flight there. But either way, I'll demo it by myself or I pre-record it on Wednesday. Yeah, so my main focus is to produce something demoable by the mid of this week.
Well, actually, I think it's better to do something live, and I'm actually planning to look more into the TON integration. Yeah, better we have more team members in team who experimented with it a bit. I think what you could do is writing instruction for demo, and I could do it live on Thursday.
Do we have any documentation how to use, let's say, testnet external chains and local net ZetaChain to actually try it like on a live network instead of Dockerized environment?
I mean,
I think
for
example-
Thursday, Dockerized will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that would be totally fine on localized.
Yeah. Like right now, the main challenge is that like Tone uses entirely binary format, and you need to do a lot of back and forth, like parse their binary data into our like Zeta client structs, and sometimes the outcomes are kind of weird. Like I catch them, like arbitrary byte sequences, and I just need to make it reliable. So yeah, like I just finished donation and deposit. Right now I'm working on deposit and call. Also, we need to, I think it created an issue regarding gas calculation because it also might be tricky. It would be cool to investigate it on like economical side for like all of our team because they have pretty complex gas fees structure, and yeah, we need to make sure that each transaction covers our internal expenses in Zeta, also for withdrawals, etc. Right now, gateway recall, yeah, I hard coded gas fee.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need to make it not hard coded, just with some formulas. I think it created an issue, but it's not expanded like in terms of description.
Yeah.
Let me check. Yeah, if anyone wants to investigate this week, it will be called defense and bandwidth of other team members.
Yeah, pretty much everyone I think is on something, but I think that would be great if we have more members in team interacting a bit with Tom. Yeah, I don't know if is there someone in team look a bit into that. Yeah, Borja or Stefan.
Yeah, I mean, I can help. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, same there. Okay, let's think. After.
I found the issue. Let me post it in this chat.
Okay, sounds good. In general, yeah, it's good if someone can just interact with network to do some testing stuff. I will also do it for demo. Alright, let's move on. On universal staking, Borja is still working on the bank pre-compile. I think it's going well right now. Is there anything, any blockers, anything?
Yeah.
On that?
No, there are no blockers. Today, last week, bank precompiled all the features are complete. Like, a user is able to do anything today. They're doing testing, which is finished by now, and working on the final end-to-end case, which is gonna be like calling the bank through a contract, like an intermediate contract that is gonna call the bank on behalf of the user. Other than that, no blockers. Like the core feature is ready. I think we have covered all the cases, possible cases in unit testing and end-to-end. So yeah, should be able to, like tomorrow or Wednesday, to be complete.
Great. The next step will be so just since there are people in core, the bank precompile basically it's contracts that is integrated in the protocol that developer can interact with to convert ZR2 into native Cosmos coins. This doesn't add that much utility, it's just for the next step for the initial staking feature, and the next feature to develop will be the distribution precompiles that will be smart contracts that developer can use to distribute ZR2 into the stakers. And yeah, that will be the next step. I think that will be next a precompile, but maybe we can just develop contracts using the bank precompile. We need to check that. But yeah, I think that will make sense for continue working on this since you worked on the bank precompile.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, and I think we're doing good progress on that. There's another one that was initially for the initial precompile integration to the gas consumption for precompiles. We still have the issue that's open. Is there something? Can we wrap this up?
On that side, on that side, there is no advanced. We still have the main problem right now is that Cosmos gas meter and Ethereum EVM in general, they are different. So yeah, there are no advanced. We haven't really discussed about how to handle it.
Okay. Could I remove it from here because it's not blocking right now I mean, the feature is completed, but we still need to think about it in the future to optimize the gas consumption is correct. Yeah, I will leave it in future for now. For authenticated core and connected chains, so Stefan working on the integration in the protocol. Any issues you want to discuss on
that? Yeah, no issues at the moment. Yeah, request is open. There are some end-to-end unit tests failing because of the changes. I'm looking into that and fixing the PR comment. And there is also a linked issue on the protocol contracts. Yeah, it would be nice, Dennis, if you can take a look. There's a question about interface for the message context. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much ready. I just need to fix the PR. And yeah, we can integrate into local net. I think we can already start with that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a look at things. Quick question about this. A related thing. We have reverts and they don't have message sender right now. Is this something we consider adding?
Context charger.
It's a separate thing, but related to message sender.
On the revert, you mean you don't have the sender on the revert context? Okay.
Yeah, essentially reverts become unauthenticated, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we have the issue yet, but it was something that was raised in Cantina conversation.
Yeah, I just want to know kind of what's the sentiment around this. Is it something we want to fix or fix it?
I think we should do it. So I don't know if you saw the revert context. You have the arbitrary revert message where you can set any data. So in theory, you can put yourself the address of the sender here. But that might be more developer friendly if we use the revert address.
I don't think, sorry to interrupt, but I don't think it has anything to do with developer experience, but rather it's a, when a contract gets a revert call, it cannot trust this call, right? It doesn't know where it's coming from. So in a good scenario, it's going from the call that from the contract that you called initially, right? But it could be coming from any other contract that reverts and maliciously decides to revert to your contract. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, I see. Because yeah, you can spoof basically the real message.
Exactly. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's not like this vendor. Yeah, I see that we should work on this then.
I think if the context contained a sender address, that would solve the problem, because you can check that this is coming from the gateway, and then you can check that it's the same contract that you are interacting with in the first place, and then you can trust the message.
Sender address. Yeah, there was misunderstanding from my side. There's actually something we need to add. Because yeah, reverb message can be spoofed. I think we should add it for September release. So we added, like right now there are different issues we prioritized based on the cantina findings. And yeah, we can add this one as part of this. Yeah, for local nets, so what is the step right now in local nets once you make a, let's say you create pull requests like this one? Is there an easy way you can directly test it from the local nets?
I think are there two local nets now? Right, I think for terminology wise, we've got sort of like this local net for smart contract testing, and then we've got like a local net for actually running Dockerized versions of nodes. They're two separate things, right? Or are we using this new one for everything?
This local nets, I think the idea is to keep this one called simply local nets, because that's just the most minimalistic one that can be used by developer for any new experimentation of features. While the nodes, local nets, is mostly internally that we're using right now. I don't think it's really used by developer in general, because for anything they want to do, they can generally just use this local net.
Okay, so we should not call them both local net. The other one
publicly we should refer, this one should refer, the local net should refer to this repository. I don't think we use directly the protocol local net anywhere, if I'm not mistaken. And
yeah, no, when we're talking about
like
like where the work's going or where testing is happening, it's confusing to have two things called local net. So we can start thinking what to call the other one, but I'm good with keeping this public one as local net.
we can call the other node local net because it's integrated in the node repository, I would say.
Yeah, like node net or something easy.
Yeah. And yeah, just going back to my question, Randall, if you want to test something in this local net, what do you do if you have a custom branch like this one on protocol contract? Can you directly use it? Yeah.
Basically, both are just npm packages. So the workflow would be to yarn link or like npm link. That's one path. So you just clone both repos, then run yarn link in the protocol contracts, and then yarn link in the local net, and it links them together. And you have to build it. So it's pretty easy to do, and you can make it right. One step further in this direction is really make a pre-release which I'm actually a fan of doing because it doesn't hurt anyone. It makes it a bit easier. So once something is merged to the main branch in protocol contracts, you can just make a pre-release and then use that in localnet. Makes it easier to test.
Yeah, I was just as one point to add some more instruction if you have something you don't merge, but you just want to test from the range. You can do it on localnet. And did you already check this one on localnet yet, or the connected call?
I have not yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's all. Unconnected call. I don't know. Authenticated call. Still planned for September release. Yeah. Simulation tests we discussed last week. We should set something, initialize something to enable it. Just create an issue. Is I don't know if Tammy is trying to call. I heard it. Yeah. Yeah, this is something you can check this week.
Yeah, so I did check the issue and I can look into it and probably start with the Cosmos modules. And I'll probably start looking into this later this week after I'm done working on the set of refactors that I am on right now.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, and is there, no, that we are, is something you want to discuss on the refactoring you're working on?
Sure. Yeah, so the refactors that I'm working on are primarily for the staking hooks. And I did post a message on Slack regarding one of the changes that I wanted to do. If you guys have had a look, we can discuss it now or we can discuss it over the issue, whatever works better.
Okay. Yeah, let's synchronize the call, I would say.
Pardon me?
Let's synchronize after the call.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin improvements. Do you have any stages to give Charlie Chen on Signet?
Yeah, sure. So, my focus was on integrating Signet into assets. So now, when I play with the Signet, I'm trying to support multiple Bitcoin chains in the local net. So there are a few missed pieces that we need to resolve in order to plug multiple network into ZetaChain. So I created a PR to resolve those issues during my experiment. But my experiment will continue. I'm gonna play with maybe both a RedNet and testnet 3 in my local network for test to make sure we are able to actually plug in multiple network. That's the first step. And then I will try to plug Signet into localnet and see if the deposit works or not. But it seems that there is a potential blocker, which is the faucet. Actually, I reach out to the Signet channel, but their response is like that. We have to faucet, but I try to claim the test Bitcoin from the URL from the two faucet. They didn't actually work. So we might need to try another way to set up our own node to be a minor node to get the coins. That's the latest update. So my focus is gonna be continue with the experiment on Signet.
what is it? Minor node? Or
It's about
It's,
more about setting up a minor node, be able to get some test coin,
okay.
just to do some proof of work.
It's not probability Signal.
Yes, it is very
Right.
centralized.
So yeah, for the faucets, I mean, one of the goals we think of Signet is to simplify developer testing with Bitcoin, and I think in any case we should set up our own faucets that developers could use. So we should. We don't hear you well, Chris. Chris, I think your choice to speak was we couldn't hear you well. I hear you, but
Yeah, it sounds like you're far away.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you should check if there's way somewhere we can get in contact. Yeah, getting some large amount of token, and we could set up our faucets ourselves. Because if it's really the issue getting tokens, then that might be a problem, because then means that developers could just not use the Signet themselves once we integrate it.
Yeah, maybe I can sync with Chris and send him whatever I got from the Bitcoin Signet channel and see what I can do with him.
Yes, Charlie, you already talked to some folks about this?
I joined that channel, and I was like, can I get some Signet test coin from this channel? So that was one guy response to me, and there are 3 ways to get the coins: the 2 faucet, a URLs, and then there was a GitHub repo which explains how to get POW coins by setting up some node.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely share that with me and Chris. We can, because ideally we can have our setup with that will just keep us, keep generating more tokens.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, next for Bitcoin. I don't know if you had a look at this one, but I think we should probably start looking into this one. Standardizing the input data for BTC input in bonds. I think that would make sense. Charlie, you look at this one.
Yeah, right. This is going to be to make it consistent with the EVM gateway contract semantic, right?
Having same, not exactly the same, but so there will be an option that will be similar, like the river address, the ABOR address.
Okay, to provide the option.
Yeah, I think we can start talk on Notion to describe a solution, and we can sync with this my labels or something.
Yeah. Should we also think about like backwards compatibility? Like in this case, we're gonna support like 2 types of format at some moment, and then keep it running parallelly, and then after some time we deprecate the older format.
Yeah, I think we should have like some sort of magic number where if the first bytes are something specific, then it just means we use the standard. I don't know if we need to be backward compatible, because it's not like called by smart contracts always user manual inputs. I don't know. Yeah. And I think for September release, we should add the stay info for testnet 4. So we have everything ready. And we can do it anytime after the signet iteration. And I mean, potentially, if there are really unsolvable issues, let's just iterating testnet 4 instead. But I think we should continue pushing for signet. But yeah, this one I think should be trivial if I check what we did with signet.
Yeah, this one should be same, straightforward.
Cool. Yeah, we good on Bitcoin. September release, there are just this one I want to check in. Yeah, this issue you created, Charlie. Is there anything working on that? We should work on it for September.
If we have to push it back one release, that's fine. It's just this is a very common thing we see is when people try to set up a node and then it fails, but they don't understand why it fails, so then they come and ask for support, and it usually sets them back, hours or days, and then our team has to go field it. When really it's just simply, if you're trying to start a node from block one, you should be using snapshot or something else, and that's why you're getting that error.
So, yeah, just to be sure, this for any error that happens when you try syncing, it's not a specific error that happens and then you have this message. It's not like for this one specifically. Do you know what was the initial problem?
Well, it's almost always they're trying to sync from block one, but they're using the latest version of the binary. And so if you try and start syncing block one with V19, it's going to fail because we've changed how the data looks since then. Because if you're syncing an archive node, you actually have to start at the original version and then update all along the way.
Okay. I see. Yeah, that might be free to implement. Unless we can.
Yeah, it's really just changing some.
Yeah. Because it can be any type of error you'll encounter during the scene.
Well, it's usually going to be that same error, I think. But even if it was just like, if it's erroring and it's at height 1, just adding a note of like, you're erroring at height 1 trying to connect to a public network, you need to sync from a snapshot. You can't sync from block 1 or something like that, right? Or we can have a link to an issue that describes it or something like that, and just to help catch all the people who experience those issues at block 1.
Yeah, I'll look into this one. Or do you have? Yeah, is it something you already looked at it since you commented the issue?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, thinking from like having a meaningful message, it makes sense, but thinking from block 1, we need to apply each binary at the right height. If we have not done that yet, maybe we should do that just as a practice to make sure that it works as expected. So it doesn't have to be this sprint, but we should probably test that out at some point.
Yeah, I agree. We should go through and test it.
Alright, so I will check that this week. Yeah, we're at it for the agenda. Is there anything else someone wants to discuss, or is there any questions someone in the call had?
I mean, I'm happy to discuss the arbitrary call of functionality, but is this the right place to do it, or should we do it synchronously?
I mean, what is the specific question that you have? We have
Yes.
7 minutes, so we can always start some self-discussion.
Yeah, so we have two calls right now, right? One in the arguments has call options and the other one doesn't. I'm just looking at the PR that Stefan made. From what I understand here is for the call that we don't have call options, this is gonna go to this is the call that's gonna resolve to a call with message sender, right? Oh no, the other way around, right? The one that does have call options. We're gonna set arbitrary call to false. This is confusing.
See, from ZetaChain to a connected chain,
Yeah.
there are some contexts where you don't have the call option.
Yeah, we have a call that doesn't have call options. Line 354. In this.
Yeah, I think that's to keep the backwards compatibility, but there is a check for that call to prevent calling on call method. So it's kind of like that's just for arbitrary calls. I think if that's what you're referring to. There is like
Yeah,
an
so-
overload. Yeah.
Which one should developers use? Is it the one with call options?
If you want authenticated call, then yes, the one with call options. I think the old one is just to keep backwards compatibility, and we will probably remove it in the future, Lucas, right? Because you mentioned to keep that one for the backwards compatibility.
What phone? So in the gateway EVM you're talking about, right?
Yeah, there should be a call.
354 line.
354.
Yeah. So we have two calls,
Okay.
right, with call options.
Yeah, that was to keep, as Stefan mentioned, the backward compatibility. If now we're gonna enable the contract v2, but this one will not be directly available because it's currently developed for further release. And yeah, if you have smart contracts that are already developing with this one, then they would not be able to be used if you upgrade them, because signature would be changed, and so this one would not be fun anymore.
Okay, in the future, everyone's gonna be using call with call options.
Yeah, this one, the one that should be used.
Okay, then it makes sense. Thanks for the clarification.
Okay.
Yeah, no questions there. I mean, I'd have to think about what's the best API for this. Should we call it arbitrary call or because we're introducing another term for this. So basically, we just have we have a call and we have a call with sender. So I don't know if call with sender is more descriptive than authenticated call. I mean arbitrary call.
The authenticated call, the authenticated call is the default one, so that would be just the normal call. While arbitrary call is the option, basically. We can always, I mean, the naming is fine, we can discuss it later because we can change the name of the variable without breaking the compatibility. As long as we continue to say like the arbitrary call is the customized one.
Okay, and quick few questions. So when we had TSS and when we had system contract, we had only system modifier, right, to prevent other contracts from calling universal apps. Are we planning on adding a modifier like this to contracts v2, like only gateway sort of thing?
So if you would.
I mean, we didn't have this in V1. It was just
Mhm.
in the toolkit, something or manually specified. It's a 3-liner modifier. I was just wondering if we could add something like this to V2.
Didn't you want to create like a contract that developer inherit from to directly? There was something like that you were looking into, I think. We can definitely provide a modifier, yeah.
Yeah, all I'm saying is providing a modifier from protocol contracts would probably make a lot of sense because everyone should be using something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, we have an issue for this. I just wanted to kind of
Okay.
highlight it and make sure that we're on the same page about including something like this.
Yeah, we should definitely do it.
Yeah. this
Okay.
one. Cool. No more questions from my side. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I think we are good. I will call in minutes, but maybe there are one last question.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't check the chat, but it seems that Charlie was mostly answering the questions.
Yeah, I don't think any related questions. I'll stop the recording for today.
Yeah, no outstanding questions for this group. Just some stuff around the KYC stuff.